Devonia's hammer is a colossal weapon indeed. Being the largest of all Crucible weapons we have to select from in Elden Ring, it packs all the punch that you're thinking it does, and so much more. So let's take a quick look into how to make this weapon a monster. There are two primary ways of doing so, and both are valid. Unless you skip over everything, you will have this weapon after you beat the DLC. Before Romina, outside the Rao Ancient Ruins East, you'll see Devonia standing on a rock, gazing out to the southwest. Defeat her in battle, and the weapon will drop into your inventory. Now, this weapon may have hammer in the name, but it is classified as a Colossal, and it has equally massive light and heavy attacks to go along with it. The rolling attacks are quick and meant for keeping poise down, and the light attacks are also fast for this weapon's moveset, but we all know, this being a Colossal, we want to focus on those heavy attacks when we're using the moveset. The poise damage here, outside of some crazy Ashes of War, more on that in a minute, is unrivaled. If you want to poise break late game bosses on Max New Game Plus, this is how you do it. But we don't need to only use that moveset. We can also focus on the Ash of War. Devonia's Vortex is a pumped up version of Ordovis's Vortex. In a similar fashion, you spin the weapon around. It is a chargeable Ash of War, and once you release the button or it's fully charged, it slams down on the ground and hopefully on an enemy as well, where it deals massive damage and creates a huge AoE crucible explosion. Ordovis's Vortex also had a bit of an AoE, but it pales in comparison to Devonia's. I was not prepared for the range this had at the start of my playthrough. Enemies like dragons who are so big cannot avoid the Vortex, it has such a wide range. So you will have no issue taking those enemies out. It is a chargeable Ash of War, so you know that means the Godfrey icon is a great choice here. Couple this with the Shard of Alexander, and you have one of the deadliest moves in the game. With only a couple buffs, the Flask, Golden Vow, and Flame Grant Me Strength, you will be hitting upper quadruple digit damage numbers. Early game bosses can be one shot or two shot, even on this highest of difficulties, and it gives you a nice amount of hyper armor too. So if you're confident in your defense and your vigor, which you should be, it better be at 60, you can feel free to tank a hit or two or three and slam out that Ash of War, ending the fight. But there are some fights where it's not realistic to get out the Ash of War, especially fully charged. So in that case, we want to build around the moveset instead. Replace the Godfrey icon and the Shard of Alexander with the two-handed sword talisman and the axe talisman. That two-handed sword will give you 15% more damage on all your moveset attacks, and the axe talisman is here to power up our fully charged heavies. Regardless of whether I was focusing on the moveset or the Ash, I always had on the Dragon Crest Great Shield to make me tankier with 20% more physical damage negation, and the two-headed Turtle Talisman for more stamina regen. As you can imagine, big weapon means big stamina consumption. For every fight, you want to start out with the Flask, then Golden Vow, then Flame Grant Me Strength. For the tiers, I had the Blood-Sucking Crack tier at the start for 20% more damage, along with Health Drain, the Opaline Heart tier for 15% more all damage negation, and the Spiked Crack tier for better fully charged heavy attacks. Golden Vow has a longer duration than Flame Grant Me Strength, so cast that first. Speaking upon Flame Grant Me Strength, it boosts our physical and fire damage, but Devonia's hammer is a split weapon. It has both physical and holy, but that boost is still going to be pretty close to 20% because well over 80% of our damage is going to be physical when we spec into strength. The start of the fight is oftentimes the best time to use the Ash of War, as openings are predictable, but at any point in the fight, if you have a massive opening, if you're fighting a mounted enemy that will be stunned, or you can seal the deal, hold down the L2 button all the way, and use the most powerful move in your arsenal. Otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, the moveset is perfectly viable. With it, you will get plenty of poise breaks, where you can score a crit, or better yet, an Ash of War. This week, I want to ask you all a question about armor. What is your favorite passive armor boost in Elden Ring? I am a Rakshasa fan. Even if it is simple, I love the red coloration and that all-around damage boost that works on any build. I ask this now because the Crucible set that I was wearing for this playthrough not only looks great and gives us 71 poise, but will give us a damage boost to Devonia's Vortex. So be sure to wear it. And after you let me know your favorite down below, You know, here on the Jersey side, we have a new Souls-like or build video every single week, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to like and subscribe to the Jersey side. Our stats for the build at RL170 are 60 Vigor to tank those hits, 15 Mind to use Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, chug a Blue Flask, and use the Ash of War a handful of times. It's that powerful, we don't need to spam it all throughout a fight. 45 Endurance, this armor set and this weapon come out to be very heavy, 80 Strength, at least 13 Dexterity, and 25 Faith to meet that 19 Faith requirement for the weapon, and use our select incantations. I knew this weapon was going to be good, and it was a nice return back to Elden Ring after spending a lot of time on the Dark Souls 1 Zweihände run last week. So do stay tuned, there's going to be more Try the Zwei coming up. And fellas, I gotta say, I think this is my favorite Crucible weapon now. It was so much fun using it. I haven't gotten this many poise breaks in a long, long time. I will now catch you all next week.